Have you ever wondered what separates successful people from most of the normal people? No, it's not about their hard work. It's not about them looking good, or it's not about the amount of money that they have. Successful people possess a potent quality of talking and communicating with absolute charisma. And this is what differentiates them from the rest. Hi, my name is Lalith Dhanush and I'm a career and communication coach and an author. Over the last few years, I've had the chance to grace over 300 plus stages to speak. Recently, I also had the opportunity to share my story to the world on the Joe Talks platform. Now, in this video, I will be giving you 5 hacks as to how you could communicate with absolute charisma like most successful people do. 1. Project yourself as an expert. Now, what do I mean by this? Make sure in whatever topic that you are talking about, you stick to your conviction, you don't change your stance until you're wrong, and make sure you speak with a subtle amount of authority and belief. That doesn't mean that you could fake anything and just say and pretend as if you know every single thing that people are talking about. Make sure you stick to your strength and your domain, as your confidence will automatically flow along with you. I'll give you an example. My favorite example for this is Harvey Specter from Suits. Have you ever watched him speak with his clients or his opposition? There's a certain amount of authority, power, and definitely depth of knowledge that he carries himself with, which then portrays him as an expert. So make sure you learn this from Harvey Specter. 2. Be charismatic. Vanessa Van Edwards, in her book Cues, says, if you want to be charismatic, you got to strike a balance between warmth and competence. And that is when you'll portray yourself to be charismatic. Now, what do I mean by this? Have you seen people who walk into a room and have this magnetic effect? Like everybody looks towards them, even though they're not the most physically attractive people. They have this aura and energy about them. It could be confidence, it could be depth of knowledge, it could be self-belief at multiple levels. But being charismatic is like having a magnetic personality. And if you speak with charisma, this magnetism draws your audience to what you have to say and will definitely resonate with you. Speak in a slower pace than usual. A lot of times, information could be accumulated in our brain at lightning speeds. However, the receiver or the listener, on the other hand, might not be at the same speed your brain might be running at. So what do you have to do? You should take a cue of most of these spiritual people in India. It could be Ravi Shankar Guruji, it could be Sadhguru, Mahatreya, anybody. They have this one thing in common, that they slow down and speak softly. Because that way, even a child is able to register every single word and intent that they speak with. Now, when you slow down, you appeal to the masses, not just a specific group, but the masses. Another trick that these guys use is not to answer a question immediately. That means if a question is asked, you don't go on the go. You give it a 3 or 4 second pause and then you answer it. This is also another technique where you slow down, and this way you will have complete attention of the person listening to you. 4. Know that you are not perfect. Gary Vee says,
you got to get perfectionism is bullshit. It's fear. It's a disguise. People use it as a disguise, bro. Perfectionism is an excuse. I'm telling you it is. Perfectionism is fucking insecurity with lipstick on. Don't judge yourself.
perfectionism kills. I don't think anybody could have been better than him to say that line. Because I believe if you aim for perfection, you will eventually stop trying and stop making mistakes. People who are able to embrace their failure, embrace their thoughts, embrace their mistakes are usually the ones who we find are the most attractive and successful people. Successful people often say that the only way up is to fail your way there. And that can happen if you embrace your imperfections. So making sure that you embrace it while you communicate with a group of people makes you look much more confident, authentic, and successful to the listener. 5. Be a confident person first and then a confident speaker next. Priyanka Chopra in Lewis Hose's podcast says,
recognizing that confidence is not something we are born with. It's a skill. It's like it's a muscle almost. If you think of it like going to the gym and, to have muscles and to be in shape, you got to work at it. Confidence to me is like that. You start using that at a very small level.
So understanding that confidence is the most inherent part of communication will already take you 2 steps above the rest of the world. So understanding confidence works first and communication works on a second layer is quite essential for you to become a super successful communicator. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video gave you enough insights. If you enjoyed this video, also check out my other video where I talk about how you could communicate with confidence, and I'm sure it will add a lot of value. Do not forget to hit on the subscribe button below and stay tuned for more such amazing videos.